talking about myself in the third person with a fake name is strange, yes. Thank you for asking. Hello everyone, welcome to Glass Half Dead. I have a paint stain on my hand. I parrot a lot of theories and rules and rule interpretations that I hear from other sources, either my friendly local gaming store or Reddit or whatever on this channel. However, as I become better at the game, I am starting to be able to think for myself, become a bit more autonomous, give better, unique to me advice. And in search of that, I have come up with something that I haven't heard anywhere else, so I think this is fresh, okay? Please, if you think I'm wrong, let me know, because I think I may have discovered something. My last video was all about the faction expansions and what terrain is going to come with each kill team. We already know the order that it's going to come out in, and I had my guess at the terrain. However, I think I am also able to tell you what units we are going to get with each faction expansion. This might seem really obvious, however, let's be honest, if we'd all thought, oh well, what are the Space Marines going to get? We wouldn't have said Reavers. That was an odd choice, right? We would have just assumed Tactical Marines or maybe Intercessors. But Reavers? Interesting. Equally, for Orcs, who would have guessed Burners? I mean, don't get me wrong, now that we've seen the kill team rules, etc., it kind of makes sense. But most people would have said a box of boys. Okay, so here are my predictions for what every faction is going to get for their unit choice. And I'm also going to tell you why. Okay. Here we go. Here's the theory, guys. Cult Mechanicus. They're not called that. What are they called? Adeptus Mechanicus and Cult Genestealer Cult. I mixed them up. So, Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, we know that they could take Rangers and Vanguards, but they can also take the other guys, the Rust Stalkers, the Infiltrators. But there are none showing here, are there? This is what you get for their kill team. The Genestealer Cults. They can also take Aberrants, Metamorphs of various types, I can't remember the different names. But they're not shown here, are they? You only get to see what you get for the kill team. Now, there is a slight pickle here. Blood Angel Scouts. We'll come to that later. I have another theory for that. So, from that... Oh, so obviously we've also had the Death Watch release. Now that was an obvious one. I don't think anybody, you know... A Death Watch kill team. Of course we got that. Oh, look at that. A squad of Reavers. For the Grey? No, for the Space Wolves. Interesting. Oh look, a squad of Scions. And also, Witches. Burners. Genestealers. Everything that has been released so far is what is shown in our pages here. So, let's go back. Now, this is kind of an obvious one. Grey Knights are going to get the Grey Knight Strike Squad. That they only have one unit. Cool. I'm going to come to these later. They are a separate theory. Here we go. We clearly see here that the Chaos Space Marines are going to get Chaos Marines. I think we're all disappointed by that, to be honest. But there you go. What can you do? What can you do? You don't seem to get anything special there either. I think we would have all liked a re-release of the Dark Vengeance Cultists. But instead we get them. What a shame. I'm going to come back to these guys. Come back to them in a sec. Thousand Suns, we get a squad of Rubric Marines. Cool. I'd be shocked if they gave us anything else. We've already had them. A squad of Witches. Cool. I'm going to come back to them in a sec. Hide them. They're the exciting bit. A squad of Immortals. You see you got the two Gauss Blasters, a Tesla and a Deathmark, which is the alternative model from the Immortal kit. We know them. And then a Tau Fire Warrior squad. There had been a bit of speculation that they might give us the Pathfinders, but I think this is the right choice because Breachers are, of course, very thematic, very kill team. So I think we're all good there. And there isn't another page, is there? Okay. Cool. So, just to prove this, guys, just to prove it, as you know, I'm currently building a Dark Eldar Drukhari army. Here we go. These are the data cards from that Slicing Noose box. Xela Vex, Xela Vex. Vilek the Untouched, Vilek the Untouched. Bithandrel Cow, Bithandrel Cow. That's a weird name. Nyx Bloodslick, Nyx Bloodslick. Shexen the Faceless, Shexen the Faceless. With that in mind, the thing here that really excites me is Eldar. Look at that. That's interesting. Okay, now, I'm going to admit that my Eldar knowledge is not quite up to snuff. However, I believe the Dire Avengers are a separate box set to the Guardians. The Storm Guardian is an alternative model for the Guardian Defender. It's honestly on this team that my theory falls apart, because are they seriously going to give us a Dire Avenger, a Guardian squad, and a Ranger squad? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. So what does this mean? I've got no idea, guys. However, I mean, a Guardian squad makes sense, right? But then, I know that the Dire Avengers are their own kit. I'm sure of that. And I know that the Rangers are as well. I even have a fear that the Rangers are currently in Finecast. God, I hope that's not true. However, if they were in Finecast, that would make this model make sense. Because we know that a Finecast, each of the models are on their own little square sprue, so that could just be thrown in the box. So that makes sense, actually. So do the Guardians. Okay, I understand these three. What's he doing there? Now, unfortunately, it's not like there are two kill teams that do this. Mix it up completely. If there were, then maybe that would give us a hint that on that particular wave, we're going to get extra expensive box sets. But there isn't. Nothing else does that. That's a single kit, single kit, single kit, single kit, single kit. Ah. Yes, them. I'd completely forgotten. Anyway. Everything else is a single kit. So, my theory falls apart here. I don't quite know what's going on. However, from what everything else has shown us, this should appear in the Eldar box set. And if it does, I will buy it. I don't own any Eldar. Well, apart from my Dark Eldar. But they're lovely. Let's ignore them. Not these pompous twats. But if they give us a kit that gives us Dire Avengers, Guardians, and Rangers, well, that's interesting. That interests me. Okay, I'm calling it now, guys. The Eldar are going to have some sort of special big expansion where you get all three squads. Boom. God, that is the worst prediction anyone has ever made. But I've made it. I'll back it somehow. Not with money, because I'll lose my money, but with my, I'd say dignity, but I don't have that. Okay, these guys here. I own Poxwalkers and I own Plague Marines. I haven't pulled out my easy build kits, but I'm gonna guess that these are the easy build kits, aren't they? And so we're just gonna get the easy build 3 Poxwalkers and no Plague Marines, sorry, And the easy build, is it 4 or 6 Poxwalkers? Yeah, that's my guess. That's my guess with them, which is a little bit of a shame. A little bit of a shame, because that will mean I have 3 copies of these exact models now. One from Dark Imperium, one from Warhammer Conquest magazine, and one from this. Oh, I'm not going to buy them. Oops, yeah, I don't collect Death Guard. So, actually not an issue. But if I remember correctly, I'm just in the middle of my workshop here with no access to the internet. Just thinking back to yesterday's video of the terrain, it was these guys and the Eldar that released at the same time, because I remember they had the weird funky tree, and then I was trying to guess what terrain Eldar would get, and I guessed, well, maybe more trees and we'd get some sort of plague garden. So actually, that is lending a little bit of credence to my idea that Eldar are going to get a big release, because these also have 2 models, which nothing else does. Everything else is a single kit. But these are 2 kits, and that's 1 kit. That is interesting, actually. You know what, guys? I'm really psyching myself up as I'm kind of talking myself into this idea, aren't I? Okay, and let's very quickly go over these. So, we've obviously had Space Wolves release. We've had Deathwatch. We know what Grey Knights are going to get. We've had them release. So that leaves us with Blood Angel Scouts, Ultramarine Tactical Squad, and Ultramarine Intercessor Squad. Now, notice that these are all Intercessors. So that's a single box. And these are all Tactical Marines, and these are all the same Scouts. It's, well, one of them is a Sniper. But I think those are still all from the same Scout box. It's not 2 Scout boxes that you can make the Sniper with. I only own a box of Scout Snipers, not normal Scouts, so I actually don't know. And we all know that Space Marines are the poster boys of 40k, so why not get more and more into Kill Team, right? So you go to your local GW, oh, do you want to play Kill Team? Awesome, what do you want to play? Marines? Okay, well, hey, we've got Blood Angels, we've got Ultramarines normal guys, we've got Ultramarines big guys, we've got Space Wolves. You know, jump in. Go for it. You've got any flavour of Marine you want there. Just very skeptically here, looking at this picture. I'm only seeing Eldar Guardians. So I'm getting a little bit concerned about my prediction for the Eldar there. But you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So there you go, guys. That's my prediction for the units that each faction is going to get in their faction expansion box. What do you think? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I should stop coming up with ideas because they're obviously terrible? I hope this has been interesting, and I hope this has actually been original content, because that is what I'm trying to create for you guys. Next up, we're going to be looking at some Drukhari and what I've done with my kill team for them. I hope you guys are looking forward to a faction dive with them. And also, most importantly, I'm going to tell you once and for all the correct way to pronounce the pluralization of Talos. Look forward to that in the upcoming episodes from Glass Half Dead. Talking about myself in the third person with a fake name is strange, yes. Thank you for asking. Alright, have a good one, guys. Talk to you later.